Hello doctor, I'm Logisaran Pattabhiraman. My metric number is 279333. Now I'm going to present about my research, which is income, leisure and happiness at work. A study on teachers in the public primary school of Sunitani. First of all, I will present the chapter 1. Okay, this part state background of study, which bring a clear idea and identify the scope of study. In this chapter, background of study have two main things, which are happiness, source of wealth, and income level influence happiness. Let me explain detail about this. In modern day, people's wealth gather through their income level because every working style provides different earning of income level. For example, if a person gain more income, the leisure time relatively increase or satisfy. So this difference of income level influence their happiness. It same goes to teachers' wealth and income level influence the happiness at work among teachers. Well, now I move to the problem statement of my research. As we all know, every worker's happiness determined by how a productive workforce is. For teaching profession, among others, places a greater emphasis on job satisfaction since ultimate result is shown quality of capital. The second point is the teacher's dissatisfaction affects students. In my research, the happiness or pleasure of teachers is more crucial because in a day, teachers interact with so many students. For example, when a teacher is dissatisfied or express their anger in different way and something like more violence, it's not only affect the ability of teachers instead of the emotion of students. If a student who are taught by unhappy teachers, they lead to adopt with a bad learning attitude and also they will experiencing the psychological harm. For example, mental ill, scariness when the students meet that abnormal teachers and so on. The last one is majority teachers dissatisfied with job. According to the well-known author which is Harun stated in a local newspaper Malaysia, the recent years the public school teachers were having dissatisfaction on their working conditions such as long working hours consists of non-teaching duties and extra classes, separation from family and friends due to the four postings, dealing with unfair work and many more. So when I identify the problem of teachers, these issues make them become more unhappy and dissatisfied when working school. Well, now I move to the research of objective. The first research objective is to identify the demographic characteristic of public primary school teachers at Sungai Petani. This objective carried out with the personal information of teacher. The second objective is to analyze the gender differences affect the income, leisure time, location, and the happiness of teacher at work. This objective identifies whether the different gender get different happiness ready on factors of income, leisure time, location, and the happiness of teacher at work or not. So in this objective, I identify whether happening gender discrimination among teachers, especially public primary school teachers or not. For the third objective, to analyze the different type of school affect income, leisure time, location, and happiness of teachers at work. This objective carry because most of the teacher more prefer to go for their preference. For example, they have a mindset like have to work in this school because this school is so near to my house, can travel daily without staying anywhere and so on. So at the same time, the working environment have to support the teacher when teaching in school. So for example, when rainy season, especially the rural area schools easily can flood and the working environment become worse. So furthermore, some of the teacher more prefer to work with their own mother tongue school. So this is the reason this objective carry out whether the different types of school affects the income, leisure time, location, and happiness of teacher at work or not. And the last objective is to examine whether the income, leisure time, and location have significant relationship with happiness of primary school teachers at work. This objective carry because every teacher's income is different according to the grade, working experience, and so on. For example, for the fresh graduate teachers, maybe they will get low-level income because they are fresh and they do not have any experience in teaching line before. While some of the teachers have a working experience, get good income for their profession and more satisfied with income. For the leisure time, teachers, especially public primary school teachers, have lots of workload to complete in a day compared to those days. For example, they have to prepare more attractive teaching tools to teach students, and those who are poor in subject, the teacher have to think another way to teach that particular student to understanding the new way, and then do extra classes when examination around the corner and so on. While some of the teacher handling all the things in correct way without any burden. For the location, teachers get tired when travel from far to school, especially the teachers who are working in rural area, while some of the teachers really satisfied with the location of schools because maybe it's near to their house. So this objective carry whether these factors giving them biggest issues or not. Well, the next part is research of questions. These questions have been mentioned in research problem. The first problem is what are the demographic characteristics of public primary school teachers in Sungai Petani? Okay, this question carries whether to identify every teacher's personal information correctly for doing research. The second question is Do gender differences affect the happiness level of teachers at work? So this question carried you to know whether the gender discrimination affect the happiness level of teachers at work or not. So the third questions carry to different types of school affect income, leisure time, and location and happiness of teachers at work. So this question stated that different type of school provide different things. So some of the schools have less work, more time, more flexible, and the income level also can be satisfied. More loaded, less time, less flexible, and cannot spend with family members, and less income level. So due to this factor, the question carry for my research. And the last question carry has does income, leisure time, and location have a significant relationship with the happiness of primary school teachers at work? So this question stated that whether it's have a significant relationship with happiness of primary school teacher at work or not. Well, now I move to the next part, which is significant of study. It's focused on investigating the level of happiness at work. Unhappiness at work affecting the teachers negatively and how this study benefit to Ministry of Education of Malaysia. So this significant of study specially investigates the happiness of public primary school teachers in Sungai Petani. Okay. Now the next part is scope of study. This study covers 50 schools in Sungai Petani with a target of 1,896 teachers. The required sample is 320 on 5% margin error. The last part of the first chapter is organization of thesis. This study consists of 5 chapters. Chapter 1 about introduction, Chapter 2 about literature review, Chapter 3 about research methodology, and Chapter 4 is analyze the result and findings. And the last Chapter 5 is about the recommendation and conclusion. Well, now I continue to present the Chapter 2, which is a literature review. It's a previous study from journals, books, and articles that are related to topic. This literature review has 2 major parts, which are theoretical and empirical. The theoretical part explains what are the relevant theories that we can use in research. The theories that are used are already proven by some researchers. So in my research, I used 4 theories of economic, which are indifferent curve, budget constraint, budget line for fixed salary jobs, and I used the indifferent curve for voluntary overtime. Well, now I continue with the empirical study. Empirical defined as the topic of research already studied by some authors. In other way, we can say that the past or previous study. There are 4 types of empirical study which are based on dependent and independent variables of my research. First is dependent variable, happiness on work. Past study by author Fisher say that job satisfaction of employees determines the happiness of work. The rest of 3 types of empirical study based on independent variable, which are income, leisure time, and location. For income, the author Catapreno stated that there is a positive relationship between income and happiness level. For leisure time, some findings support that leisure time affects happiness at work. Last was location. The findings of authors say that the relationship between location and happiness is negative because location can evaluate the employee's performance. Lastly, the hypothesis for objective 2 until 4 is explained in the chapter 2 also. Well, now I'm going to present the next chapter, which is methodology. For the research framework, the research that takes into account and assess all the potential factors. Below the pictures show that the relationship between the independent and dependent variables. There are 4 factors that are used in research, which are independent variable, income, leisure time, and location, and one more of which is dependent variable, happiness at work. Well, now I'm going to present the next part, which is research design. In research design, there are 5 types of things, which are type of study, source of data, unit of analysis, population of frame, and sample and sampling technique. In this of study, the study which I conduct by using quantitative study, the purpose is to establishing the nature of the relationship between income, leisure time, and happiness. The descriptive study was carry the purpose of my research. Well, the next part is the source of data. The data which we collected by distributing the questionnaires to the public primary school teachers at Sungai Petani, Kedah. Well, now I move to unit of analysis. In this part, we mainly focus the public primary school teachers participated to fill up the questionnaires to our research. After that, the population of frame. The population for this study are primary school teachers at Sungai Petani. So it consists of Sekolah Kebangsaan, Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Tamil, Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina. After I know the population frame, it's easy for the last step in research design is sample and sampling technique. This part has to refer the Cratchit and Morgan table because this table already calculated exact number of respondents to determine the size of sample. So for 1,896 teachers and the table shows 320 respondents. I mean my sample size 320 respondents only. Well, now I move to the questionnaire design. Questionnaire design based on dependent and independent variable. This research questionnaire comprises 27 questions, consists of 5 sections which are A, B, C, D, and E. In section A, 7 question was designed as demographic information and section B, C, D, E have 20 questions. The first one is section A. Demographic information. In this section, we are asking the personal question. Okay, the next one is section B, which is the satisfaction of primary school teachers on income. This section we insert you to know whether how much satisfaction the teacher received through their own income. So because according to the government teachers grade, the teachers have quota how much income should be gained according to the grade. Well, the next is section C, which is leisure time affected by primary school teachers' work. This section carry whether the teacher really have enough leisure time to spend with family members and friends or not. So basically, we capture this information from every teacher due to the how much workload having in school, whether it's more or less. And now I move to the section B, which is location of work affects teacher happiness. This sections collect the information whether the teacher having issues on traveling far to school or not. Well, the last section is section E, happiness of primary school teacher at work. This question's intention is to capture the information whether the teacher get happiness in workplace or not. This is because some of the teacher having depression, stress, anxiety according to the working environment, but some of the teacher feel more comfortable when working school. So every teacher's result give different collective of data when we are further our research. The next part is instrument. There are 7 demographic factors which we are taking from questionnaires and several questions that asked by researchers related to the dependent variable and independent variable. So the next part is data collection procedure. For this study, we used the primary data to obtain the data using questionnaires. The questionnaires was distributed to the public primary school teachers at SUNY Botanic Class. So we only get 311 respondents from 320 questionnaires. Well, the final part of this methodology is data analysis technique. I use 5 different techniques for 4 objectives. The descriptive analysis and frequency distribution of analysis technique used for objective 1, independent sample t-test used for objective 2, on-way of ANOVA test used for objective 3, and correlation analysis used for objective 4. All these techniques will make my analysis more easier. Well, next I move to Pearson correlation result. The Pearson correlation result is used to measure the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. The population correlation is estimated by the sample correlation coefficient R. The R gives a value between positive 1 and negative 1. Well, based on the result in the correlation table, there is a significant relationship between happiness of teachers at work and income. R value is 0.395. It shows the positive strength of correlation between happiness of teachers at work and income. Statistically is significant P less than 0.01. And then it's concluded that the happiness of teachers at work has significant relationship with income. The null hypothesis doesn't acceptable. This finding same as previous studies where income affect the happiness. In addition, theory of indifferent curve for voluntary overtime also shows that the whether employee willing to work overtime with low income. As a result, no one workers willing to work overtime. It's because they didn't get much more salary they expected. The same situation that primary school teachers. In addition, the result in correlation table shows that there is a significant relationship between happiness of teachers at school and leisure time. R value is 0.454. Also, the positive strength of correlation between happiness of teachers at work and leisure time is statistically significant P less than 0.01. It's concluded that the happiness of teachers at work has significant relationship with leisure time. Hence, null hypothesis rejected. These findings also same as past studies goes to primary school teachers' life because they didn't have enough time to spend with family and friends and didn't get enough rest. With this, they also have a low satisfaction with their leisure time. Well, lastly, the correlation table result shows that there is a significant relationship between happiness of teachers at work and location of work. R value is stated 0.534. Also, the positive strength of correlation between happiness of teachers at work and location of work statistically is P less than 0.01. It's concluded that the happiness of teachers at work has significant relationship with location at work. So the null hypothesis rejected. This finding also same as previous study where location affects the happiness of work. Finding says that the location is most important factor that affect the employee's happiness. If employees did not satisfy with their workplace, my employee no longer work at the place. Well, now I continue with the chapter 5, which is a recommendation and conclusion. Independent variable sample t-test. This result indicates that there is no significant differences of income, leisure time, location among genders, while happiness level at work has a significant difference among genders. Moreover, a one-way ANOVA has also indicated that there is no significant differences of income and happiness at work among type of schools, while leisure time and location have a significant differences among types of schools. Moreover, the Pearson correlation analysis was indicating there is a significant relationship between income, leisure time, location with happiness of primary school. Well, the last part of chapter 5 is policy implication. This research is beneficial for government, especially Ministry of Education, to formulate more effective measures to support every teachers, especially primary teachers in Malaysia, as it presents the important information on teachers in public primary school. As several impacts affect primary school teachers' income, leisure time, and happiness at work. In this situation, teachers having stress, dissatisfaction when increase the workload in school. At the same time, the posting have to be reconsidered whether that particular teacher works more than 5 years can apply for posting to their hometown. It may give a satisfaction for teachers, and Ministry of Education have to introduce the latest learning method which have advanced technology. Okay, this may decrease the workload of teachers, and also it's quite easy for teachers when conduct the class by using the attractive method which have advanced technology. So that's it from me, and thank you for listening my presentation, Doctor.